Welcome to the Dashboard Effect Podcast. I'm Rick Thompson.
And I'm Landon Oaks.
Landon, we're going to continue on our path of doing a few short videos on some technical terms and what they mean. We talked recently about medallion architecture in the context of data lakehouses. One of the layers in that medallion architecture is a gold layer. I want to just get a little more into that. What is the gold layer, and then how do you build a really good gold layer?
Yeah, it's a good question. So in general, layman's terms, the gold layer is your best data, right? Essentially cleaned up,
ready to report on. Okay.
Yeah, there's no duplication in there. You validated it. You're confident in the numbers it's returning, right? So it's the area you can go to trust.
You've already combined all of your different silos of data and bubbled it all up to the gold layer.
Yeah, and that can be one of the biggest ones, right? Is combining different data sets, et cetera. It's all done there. You don't have to think about it if you're pulling your data from that area. So part of essentially what you're doing that for is to point any sort of analytics at it, which whether that be Power BI, Excel, what have you, tons of different solutions out there to do that. But that's really its main purpose, is for that gold layer. Sometimes you will have some people doing some ad hoc data pulls too to be able to go do what they need with it elsewhere. Just with the understanding that this is good data and I can trust it. Okay,
so some of the things you need to do to have a good gold layer, obviously good modeling. Maybe we can talk a minute about that. First thing you said was it's deduplicated, it's validated. Mm-hmm. You've already done checks with SMEs in the business to know that the data coming out of that is good. Yeah. So, all right, so how do you model it? What's good modeling in a gold layer?
Yeah, in a gold layer, I mean, obviously this is going to change with AI and how fast technology is moving. Yeah. But right now, it is still typically a star schema that you're going to want, right? There can be some variations on that, but at the end of the day, star schema is going to be the best bet.
Yeah.
How long that'll be the case, we'll find out.
Yeah, and we'll talk. Actually, we'll do another episode where we talk about what we're calling platinum layer, which is sort of the gold layer made friendly for an AI, an LLM.
Yeah, exactly. So in terms of that, kind of the idea is like you want to just make it really clean, really business friendly, right? So you just want like dimension customer, D customer, dim customer, however you want to call it. Even though dim customer might be made up of 6 different source systems, one with a nasty name like, J26Y in the source, right? You've dealt with all of that. You've put
cleaned
it together.
Up. You made it so a business analyst will understand what's in that table.
Yeah.
If you had 6 different systems with customers in it, you modeled it so they all represent customers the same way. That type of thing.
Yeah, to the best of your ability.
Yeah, right.
There's always going to be holes when you're talking about a bunch of different systems with the same data. But yeah, at the end of the day, you're getting it so that they don't need to worry about it, right? An analyst, back, before they had something like this, they'd need to go to all 6 systems, dump out Excel files, go do that mapping themselves with VLOOKUPs, et cetera. It becomes really heavy. Yeah. And then most of the time, it's not going to update by itself, right? So you're going to have to do it every single time you want a new analysis. So that's the biggest kind of benefit of.
All right. So you've used human-friendly naming, sort of standard naming. In our case, I think we use D_ for dimensions, F_ for fact tables. These are all views, by the way, usually in the gold layer. We talked last time we met about medallion architecture and the fact that you can materialize those views back into data to make it quicker. But in this case, views. What other considerations do you have to make sure your gold layer is good?
Yeah, I mean, those are the biggest ones, right? So if you can get like a source system report, et cetera, and I can match those numbers with queries on my gold layer, relatively simple, right? At the end of the day, that's the goal.
So you validated, you're getting correct numbers out of it.
And you're going to find all kinds of hidden filters because a lot of times, if your source system has a report, you can't peek behind the curtain and see what's going on in there, right? So often, you're going to find a lot of filters.
How is it getting this number?
Yeah, and sometimes in cases we found that it's wrong, right?
It's the source system reporting is wrong.
We'll show them, we'll be like, why isn't this being included in your report? And they'll be like, it's not?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. So it's worthwhile exercise. And that's usually where the biggest insights come. And then now you just have it. It's right there at your fingertips.
And then in your gold layer, so you got these various star schemas for different fact areas. Do do you have any special requirements around relating those fact areas? Are you always doing it through some conformed dimension, or how do you think about that?
Yeah, it's a good question. So there's a super simple way, which is one system. I can just use the ID from the source system. Technically, I could make my own IDs, but that increases, that adds more complexity that you're going to now have to manage, right? So we always try to do less overhead. So that's the simple one. Second one is, if you have multiple systems that have the same area, like in that example with 6 customers, your key from one system, which might be like, 22, just to keep it simple. In Salesforce, for instance, might be also have another 22 in HubSpot, but they're completely different customers because these are internal keys, right? So you can't mix those two together. There's multiple ways of doing it. The cleanest way that we like, simplest, and it encourages people to clean up their source systems, which best practice almost all the time, is we keep both those versions of the records, right? So we have like a
for each
delimiter. No, we don't even collapse it.
Oh, okay.
So when you're doing it through Power BI, Excel, other tools, most of them, if they're spelled the same, it collapses it automatically into one row. The only gotcha there is if one has like LTD and the other one's LTD period.
Yeah.
That's now different, right? And there's other ways you can go about cleaning that data, but we always encourage people do it in your source system. It's not only going to help reporting, it's going to help almost anything else you try to do between these two systems. So you can
produce a report that shows you, hey, I think these are duplicates.
Yeah.
And here's a suggested correction for these systems. Go make that correction there.
Yeah.
And then just do that periodically.
Yeah. We usually have
Master
like an exceptions report
basically.
or something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anything else to consider just in a quick definition of the gold layer?
I mean, from a quick definition, no, I don't think so. We've got more like slowly changing dimensions, et cetera, that you could get deeper into, but there's plenty of good info out there.
All right, good. Thanks, Landon.
Thank you.
All right.